Hello, 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 my beautiful ladies, my beautiful, beautiful souls. I am so excited right now. I was falling asleep and I had a little thought, so we're gonna run with it because because that is how divine downloads go. So, your crazy coach lady, Amanda Trombley here. So happy you are joining us wherever you are joining us. Make sure that you are in our Facebook group, Lit Illuminating Consciousness. Make sure that you have subscribed and rang the bell to my YouTube channel. It needs a super duper huge amount of support because we are just really pushing it and getting started over there. And make sure that you check out our upcoming amazing, incredible living embodiment workshop, Mind and Movement. It is going to be fierce. The cart is open. The waitlist is ready. And we are so excited for you to join us. Maybe you're new here. Maybe you're catching this on YouTube. Maybe you're running through this on Facebook. So if you don't know a little bit about me, again, Amanda Trombley, your crazy coach lady, and I am a conscious illumination leader, meaning that I work with women to guide you through the light of your rising of emotional evolution and mental wealth. This is my passion. This is my zone of genius, and I'm so excited that you are here and found me, and I cannot wait to get started. So, enough of that bullshit. Let us jump right the fuck into today. Today we are talking about when self-sabotage can feel so fucking good, and the bullshit lies that we have heard about it all along. So, real quick disclaimer before we get started. This video in no way endorses or proposes that you take a step back on your journey to recovery in any way that can physically or emotionally harm you. Meaning, I am not saying self-sabotage, go back to self-harm, or go ahead and pick up that drink. As a recoverer of both of these areas, as well as abusive relationships, I do not want you to take this video as a reason to go back to the area you worked so hard to get out of. But I truly believe in the exact same notion. If you're there and you're with us, and this is not a reason to live in your excuses or your bullshit or your denial, but this is a really, really cool fucking perspective on sabotage that we have not considered before. So, disclaimers out of the way, let's get going. It is so fucking okay to self-sabotage. Okay? It is. We always feel so shitty about self-sabotage. And we all do it. We all take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And there's a few problems with self-sabotage. Number 1, a lot of times when we're self-sabotaging, we don't even actually know that we're self-sabotaging. It takes a lecture from mom or an argument with a friend or that really, really crappy night to realize that we're actually living in a self-sabotaging state in a number of different areas, or maybe in just that couple of day period of time. So number 1, a huge problem with self-sabotage is that we usually don't even know we're doing it until we're already completely developed and inside the cycle. The second thing that's actually really wrong with self-sabotage that we just automatically know is, why are we self-sabotaging? Because unconsciously, inherently, we have this desire or idea or want to numb it away, to block it out, to run from what our growth is trying to evolve us into, right? When we self-sabotage, it's this running from ourselves, running from our growth, running from our passion. And lastly, this huge issue that we all know, that we've all heard that's wrong with self-sabotage, is that obviously you're taking a step in the wrong direction, and And then you're wallowing in your own self-pity when you finally do become aware that what you're doing is sitting in self-sabotage. So we know this. We've heard this before. We know self-sabotage is black and white and bullshit. And even though we all do it and we're all trying to run from it, it's super, super bad. And don't do it because you'll never get to where you want to go when you self-sabotage because of these 3 reasons and a million others that we can list, but those are the common ones. So we'll stick with those. Here's the deal. Self-sabotage is so not fucking black and white. And that's not all there is to self-sabotage. Those are a couple of problems with self-sabotage, but those are not the whole black and white story of self-sabotage. You've been lying to yourself. They've been lying to you. It's time to debunk those ideas. So, have you ever fucking taken a vacation where even though the vacation was glorious and it was absolutely amazing, you still couldn't wait to get home at the end of it? Like, it was a great time, you relaxed, you played, you did whatever, but it still feels so good to go home. Or maybe even before you're home, you're ready to be home. You're ready for your normalcy. You're ready for life to restart again and vacation to end. That's the reality in life, okay? So, even those of us that have created a life that is so absolutely pleasure center filled, a life that we love, a life that we built intentionally, still need an escape, still want to go home from time to time. And all of those that are pretending to tell you that there's never a bad day in their life where they just want to sit on the couch and eat a gallon of ice cream are talking absolute shit to you, and they are not living in their own truth. No matter how wildly passionate and amazing the life that you have cultivated is, and the freedom of mind and space that you have is, we all get burnt out. We even get really, really burnt out on the really, really good shit. Especially if you have a passion and pleasure-driven life, we get burnt out. This is completely and totally a natural cycle of our mentality. There's nothing wrong with this, okay? So whether you're self-sabotaging because your life is shit and you're not getting where you want to go, or you're self-sabotaging because your life is amazing and why the fuck are you self-sabotaging? Why are you taking a step back? Neither of that matters. The reality of the situation here is this is a problem that every single one of us faces. But the biggest problem here isn't that we're self-sabotaging, it's that we're looking at our self-sabotage in completely the wrong way. Self-sabotage is a safe place, ladies. Self-sabotage is such a safe place. When, number one, you know that you are in it. It is a safe place when you know that you are self-sabotaging. When you are consciously aware enough to understand and know that you are in the midst of a self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is a safe place when it gives you a reason to want to go back to your best life. When it gives you a reason to want to realign, to want to get back on track. Self-sabotage is a safe place when you start celebrating the fuck out of it. When we celebrate our self-sabotage, it serves us so fucking well, guys. And self-sabotage is absolutely a safe place when we set boundaries around it. Here's a huge issue. So many times we self-sabotage unconsciously or knowingly, but there's no boundaries around it. So we eat ourselves into a stupor, or we drink ourselves into a stupor, or we scream ourselves into a stupor, or we laze around into a stupor, and then we get caught up in the cycle of our stupor and we don't know what to do with ourselves. When we put the boundaries in place around our self-sabotage, we are able to actually harness our self-sabotage to continue our we're rising and actually jump through paradigms, jump through shifts, jump through our own ascension with leaps and bounds, okay? But you have to, set these boundaries around it. Be aware of yourself. Everything from day one with our teachings is always awareness, 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 awareness. So be aware of where you're at, mentally, and what you're participating in physically. You don't have to know why. You just have to be aware that it's happening. And if you are aware that it is happening, or that it's going to happen, right? You're becoming aware of what are my triggers, what are my patterns. Set up those boundaries in place. Give yourself a max amount of time to self-sabotage. Give yourself the absolute no's that you won't participate in your self-sabotage. Give yourself the permission in your self-sabotage. Set some firm boundaries around your self-sabotage. And this is so important, guys, give yourself permission to set the shame cycle away. That is like the hugest problem with our self-sabotage. It's not that we took a step backwards. The hugest problem with our self-sabotage is that we feel like shit about taking a step backwards. It's that we're thrusted into this shame cycle of taking a step backwards. Give yourself the permission to sabotage. Give yourself the permission to act like shit, eat like shit, be like shit, feel like shit today. Let yourself do it. Allow yourself the permission to do so. Stop shit talking yourself. Stop telling yourself that you're stupid or not who you thought you were or not as far as you thought you were or this or that because of your self-sabotage. And for the first time in your life, just fucking enjoy your self-sabotage. The thing is, you're gonna do it in one way, shape, or form. And the stronger you grow and the wealthier mentally that you grow, the less time you'll self-sabotage for naturally as those boundaries become stronger, and the less often you'll self-sabotage as time goes on. But you still will. So you might as well enjoy the fuck out of what you're doing rather than shaming yourself into such a conundrum for being a fucking human being. Enjoy the shit out of your self-sabotage. If you're eating a gallon of ice cream tonight, you better enjoy it. If you're turning off your social media and just fucking up all your business plans, enjoy the shit out of that time. Celebrate the shit out of that time. Feed your soul. Your self-sabotage should be used to feed your soul. It should be soul food. The beautiful thing, when you set your boundaries around your self-sabotage, and when for the first time in your life you give yourself permission to celebrate your self-sabotage, this helps realign you 100%. This reminds you why you love the life that you live. This allows you to maintain gratitude and consistency in the life that you are building. This shows you how far you have come. This gives you the freedom to move intentionally back to the life that you are trying to create. It allows you to see the shifts, and also because we are so fearlessly celebrating in the dark rejection, yucky side of ourselves, we naturally begin to bring the subconscious mind forward and allow her to stop taking control of our lives because we're finally giving her what she wants. We're soaking in the pleasure of the pain, and she stops playing in the foreground and allows us to move through greater leaps and bounds. Then we get to realign. Then we get to be reignited. Then we get to be repassionate, and we get to be recommitted to exactly where we want to be. Okay? So, guys, your shame cycle is the killer here. Your excuses is the killer here. Self-sabotage is not the killer here. Self-sabotage can be wildly erotic, wildly pleasurable, and immensely evolutionary if we step away from the shame cycle, set some boundaries around it, and really, really fully embody every shift that we move through. This is still embodiment, guys. Again, it's not about being high vibe, happy-go-lucky 2,000 times a day. It's about living in your most authentic self no matter what you are facing, conquering, experiencing, journeying through. It's about being you and falling so helplessly in love and so helplessly in awe of your very moment, your very process, your core design, that you are able to move through and create literal magic in every step that you take, because that's what we're doing. We're taking something that has wildly been considered as a bad thing culturally for years and decades in all walks of life, and we are tapping our finger on it and saying, look at the fucking badassness that this shit's gonna create when I let the bad bitch off the leash and I embody the pleasure out of each and every step. And when we do that, that magic fingertip literally transcends our place in time. I mean, absolutely allows us to just boom, boom, boom. Shifts happen unconsciously. Shifts happen subconsciously. Shifts happen spiritually. Shifts happen emotionally. New boundaries are set in place. New passions are ignited. Fucking magic happens here when we embody our truest design. So, stop listening to the lies. It's fucking totally okay to self-sabotage. It's okay. You might have been doing it wrong this entire time, so I super duper suggest you re-listen to this, re-watch this, take some notes, set your boundaries, figure out your triggers, and learn how to self-sabotage in the right fucking way, so the next time that it cycles through your daily living, your daily lifestyle, your yearly lifestyle, you're like, I'm ready for this ride. Let's do this. Let's enjoy it. I'm excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be gold. Let's enjoy the self-sabotage. Let's use it as a conditioning tool to rise us to the mental wealth and the emotional evolution that we desire, to create the abundance and the magic in our lives that we so super duper want. That's it, guys. I'm so glad you joined me for this one. I'm so excited about this one, if you can't tell, because, you know, we always got to do something different here. So, that's it. See you on the next one. Ta-ta.